This video is a bit different than my usual ones because we are not in Finland, but in my hometown Prague. When I travel to Czech Republic, it's of course mainly about being with my family and friends, but I always like to find time to wander around the city, visiting places where I've been already 1,000 times and I'm going to visit them again and again. Prague is the place where I have roots and it cherishes my soul to be there. Luckily I have great company for my Prague walks and it's my friend who likes Prague as much as I do. We both enjoy how Helsinki and Prague are two unique cities, both gorgeous in different ways, and we have possibility to enjoy both of them. If I had to describe Prague in a few words, it would be history, old times, great architecture, magic, fairy tale, atmosphere. And Helsinki would be sea, archipelago, amazing design, science, and beautiful nature. In this video we will be walking the streets, seeing great architecture, visiting atmospheric places, and also one very interesting wetland with frogs. If you want to also enjoy the old town, join us and watch this video. Delicious sweet pastry is called trdelník and it belongs to Prague very much, and there are different kind of possible fillings. We had it with strawberries and whipped cream, but also it's possible to have it with ice cream. So the Czech translation, if it would be trdelník with ice cream, it would be trdelník se zmrzlinou, which is impossible to pronounce for Finns because they don't like consonants at all. Not only the pronunciation, but also the way of eating is challenging. This is our favorite street in Prague called Nerudova, after the Czech writer and poet Jan Neruda. I very much like the book Tales of the Little Quarter in Czech malostranské povídky, which contains short stories of the people from these premises. Jan Neruda himself was attached to this place very much. He lived here and especially he was faithful to the house which is on the other side of the street called U dvou slunců. We have also at home the English version, and on the cover of the book there is exactly this view, the road leading to the Prague Castle. I made a photo and I plan to hang it in our Helsinki apartment. this shore are often coming people to feed water birds, even though it's forbidden in Prague. Bread is harmful, and other type of food which is often recommended as salad or different type of grains as rice, for example, is also forbidden because it could attract rodents which are often problematic in big cities. Here it attracted nutria, which came to see if there are some leftovers. We are going to a green oasis which is surprisingly in the center of Prague. It's called Petrin and it's quite a steep hill. It's possible to get on the top by a funicular, but I only very rarely take it. This part is an orchard and there are many apple, cherry, plum and pear trees. In spring it's very suitable kissing place. We have a Czech tradition that on the 1st May a woman should be kissed under the cherry tree. And this is very suitable place for it. It's also good here later in the season for picking fruit. This place belongs to the capital city and it's allowed for people to pick here fruit. The advantage of urban orchards is that their goal is not production, but conservation of cultural heritage and nature management. Orchards historically belong to Prague, they are being restored and new orchards are being established. It's a way to preserve old fruit varieties for future generations. I think that these sites really improve the quality of life in the city. Old orchards are also highly valued for their biodiversity. They are often made up of different age structures and thus provide a diversified habitat for different species of organisms. The trees are aging quite quickly and thus soon achieve the qualities of senescent trees. Cavities which are used by bats and birds. Dead wood, furrowed bark, stumps and hollows are also important for insects. For example, for our endangered beetle Osmoderma barnabita, which is threatened by the lack of suitable habitats. Orchards are also an important food source for animals, providing nectar and fruit. That wood contains invertebrate larvae. For example, bees, wasps, voles, shrews and birds have a lot of foraging opportunities there.
Either that maybe
We are in Petrin Hill in the center of Prague. We can see from here Prague Castle, and here is one very interesting wetland which we visit every year, and it's very good on frogs. Now already in March there are common toads in Amplex copulating, so it seems that there will be again very good frog here. The water is very clear, there is already a lot of light. We've seen some copperpods. This pond is very good for frogs because there are no fishes. Also there are a lot of shallow parts which warm in the spring, so it's very suitable for breeding and for the development of juveniles. The vegetation is starting to grow, some irises mainly around, and 1 year we've seen here even a pair of mallards. This pond has the most beautiful view. It's located under the Petrin Terrace restaurant, and yes, this is how it was discovered by us, from a terrace of a pub in July 2020. I came here in May 2021, and there were dozens of black tadpoles of common toads, which I recorded on the video. Frogs must sometimes, on their way to the breeding locality, overcome some obstacles like crossing a road. They are more exposed during this travel, and it can be dangerous for them. A biker could be worse. On the Petrin Hill are signs for people to be careful that there can be migrating frogs.
This is the.
This
is this hollow power.
We have in Prague so many favorite cafes, which we consider as ours, that it's not possible to visit them all during our stays. Especially because the list is still growing and growing. Every time we are here we find some new great place. But the cafe we try to reach every time is Melvin Cafe, which has very special meaning for us. From our cafe, we often continue to the Prague Loreto. In the tower of the imposant Baroque church is a set of bells. It's a carillon, the oldest one in Czech Republic from the end of 17th century. It's also the largest historical carillon in the whole Europe. We are at the Prague Castle, and there is an interesting fact that in the tower of St. Vitus Cathedral is the heaviest bell in the whole Czech Republic. It weighs 15 tons and it requires 6 people to maneuver it. Some places such as Charles Bridge and Old Town Square can be very crowded during day. This is why we like to go early in the morning when the city is waking up. Anyway, a little disadvantage of this early walk is that the astronomical clock, also known as Prague Orloj, doesn't show traveling apostles before 9. This is the main library of Prague, and in it is an infinity column of books. Every time I go there, I must look in it, even though I've seen it thousands times, but it still works and it still feels like a magic to me. I wanted to visit Alchemist Museum since I got to know about it, and it was even better than I imagined it. I don't want to spoil anything, I will just say that if you like Harry Potter, secret chambers, tunnels, Philosopher's Stone, poisons, this is the very place where to go, and you will hear some historical facts, but also some legends, fairy tales, and it's up to you what you believe. We are in the Mirror Chapel in National Library Clementina. We were here on a concert of classical music, composers like Mozart, Vivaldi, Bach, and many others, and it was very good, and also the premises very suitable for this kind of music. We are having one of our last coffees in Prague, and we are sitting on a very beautiful and peaceful place and enjoying sun, and this is our view. This coffee was actually very good buying. One coffee with milk cost 50 crowns, which is approximately 2 euros, and we got croissant for free. Thank you very much for watching the video. We are now back home in Finland and having here still a bit more wintry atmosphere, but already spring is in the air. Quite a lot of sun.